and the All Indiana Podcast Network. This is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Jenkins, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 Podcast for Thursday, May 15th. We begin with the news on Mass Ave, where IMPD is talking to multiple witnesses this morning after a woman was shot and killed outside an event center. Officers responded to the shooting near Arlington Avenue at around 9:30 last night. Police say they found the woman with gunshot wounds there. She died at the scene. Police say witnesses told them the suspect who fled the area was a man. IMPD says officers are looking for any surveillance or door cam video nearby. And the last hope for a death row inmate to avoid execution is a petition to the U.S. Supreme Court. Yesterday, Governor Mike Braun said he would not stop the execution of Benjamin Ritchie. Right now, it is set for next Tuesday. Ritchie killed Beech Grove police officer Bill Toney back in the year 2000. Braun made his announcement hours after the state parole board said that it would not recommend clemency. Ritchie's attorneys have asked the U.S. Supreme Court to stay the execution. They argue Ritchie suffered from fetal alcohol syndrome that left him with brain damage. Now to a story I-Team 8 has been following. The sheriff and other officials in Henry County are raising concerns about what they're calling a mental health crisis. They claim that more people are being put behind bars who should instead be getting treatment. I-Team 8's Cody Fisher reports.
Henry County Sheriff John Sproles says all law enforcement officers in the county are on the front lines of this crisis.
We're practically dealing with it on a daily basis. These calls can range so widely from dementia, Alzheimer's to just completely psychotic and dangerous.
Those calls land people with mental health issues in the jail.
This is not the place for these people.
Many times, those people end up in isolation cells. Or in extreme cases, padded cells.
At least 25% of the population are either on mental health medications, they have mental health, or substance-induced mental health.
How has that changed in the last 17 months since you've been on the job?
It's increased. I think when I first got here, I didn't see as many mental health patients. Now each week at a minimum, I see anywhere from 10 to 20 patients a week for mental health requests. I have a really hard time finding placement for people who do have mental health challenges.
Lisa Suttle is the Regional Vice President of Clinical Services for Meridian Health Services, which provides mental health services in the county.
The gap is probably more of, someone that's been in a service for several years, monitored, locked units, those kind of things, and then have done very well, but monitored. Meds are given to them, those kind of things. But then once they're released to go to a least restrictive environment, if there's a service that can help to transition them into that type of service, that's very valuable. And not to say they're not out there, there probably just needs to be more. There are services available. There just seems to be sometimes it's hard to get them or not enough.
Suttle is working with Henry County Judge David McCord on a long-term solution for the county.
We would love to have a facility in Henry County, but that's going to be pretty difficult at our size to have a full facility where we can take them 24 hours a day if something like that happens. More likely is that we're going to be able to, we hope, to develop a mobile crisis unit.
The biggest roadblock to having a facility specifically for Henry County is funding.
It's really easy for me to sit here and say, we need money to do this, but I know that that's going to be difficult, so that's why we're trying to come up with some of our own funding ideas.
While the bigger goals are further away, the county is doing what they can by creating a crisis intervention team. So far, 27 law enforcement officers have gone through 40 hours of training to better handle situations where someone is having a mental health crisis. Reporting in Henry County for I-Team 8, I'm Cody Fisher for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Our partners at Consumer Reports say they found that some Kroger stores are charging higher prices at checkout than what is listed on grocery items. Consumer Reports partnered with The Guardian and the Environment Reporting Network to uncover widespread pricing errors. CR launched its investigation after Kroger workers in Colorado went public with allegations that the store was overcharging customers. Reporters then traced the error to incorrect price tags on store shelves.
We found expired sales tags on more than 150 different grocery items that actually led to overcharges at the checkout counter. Everything from beef and salmon to coffee, juice, vegetables, even cough medicine and dog food.
Consumer Reports is advising shoppers to take a quick photo of the sale tags, review the receipts before you leave the store, and to demand a refund if your price is not right. On to Capitol Hill, where the Supreme Court is set to hear arguments on President Trump's executive order to end birthright citizenship. The justices will not hear arguments on the order's constitutionality. Instead, experts say they will weigh in on whether lower court judges should be able to issue nationwide injunctions. Some lower court judges have blocked a number of Trump's policies, like funding freezes and anti-DEI directives. He argues that the lower court should not have that much power. Let's talk sports. If you are looking to see cars out on the track at the Speedway today, the gates open at 10 this morning. Up first is 2013 Indy 500 champion Tony Kanaan running the Veterans Refresher Test at 10. All cars then hit the track for practice at noon. Practice runs until 6 tonight, and you can get a ticket to watch practice for just $25. Tom Brady will be here for race weekend. The former Patriots quarterback and Colts rival will sit in what IMS calls the fastest seat in sports, the two-seater car that leads drivers to the green flag. The driver will be NASCAR great Jimmie Johnson. IMS is calling it the GOAT drive since Brady is a 7-time Super Bowl champion and Johnson has 7 NASCAR Cup titles. We now know the Colts' full schedule for the upcoming season. The NFL released the full season schedule for every team last night. The Colts open the season on September 7th at home against the Miami Dolphins. And as we told you on Wish TV yesterday, the team will take on the Atlanta Falcons in Berlin, Germany on November 9th. As of now, the Colts' only primetime game is on Monday, December 22nd, when the San Francisco 49ers come to Lucas Oil. When it comes to the weather, Storm Track 8 says we are in for some storms today. Meteorologist Marcus Bailey has your News 8 Daily 8 forecast.
I think this might be the first day that we have full practice without any interruption. So our alert doesn't really happen until later this evening. Okay. That's when we need to be kind of aware of some storms that could develop. Let's start there first. It's a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather around most of central Indiana. Okay, northern Indiana up to a level 3 out of 5. All modes of severe weather are in play. I think wind and hail are kind of the primary concern here, a slightly elevated risk. You saw the lower threat of tornadoes, but it's not zero, so be aware of that. That's something we'll be tracking later this evening, which I think the window of opportunity for severe weather doesn't happen until around or after dinner time. I'm saying anywhere between 7 p.m. and 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. That's going to be kind of our window there. And I don't think it's going to storm that entire time, but that's certainly going to be the best opportunity for severe storms. Now, I'm also going to be watching carefully over the next couple of hours for some spotty storms to develop along a warm front passing through this morning. Any storm that develops this morning below severe limits, but we could have some pretty heavy downpours. But I think those are few and far between. This won't be the same situation, thankfully, as what we dealt with yesterday morning. Live look downtown, it's pretty quiet, 65, partly cloudy. We're starting to get a little muggy. Dew points are into the lower 60s right now. Mid-60s across most of central Indiana. Here for this morning, we're close to 70 in some spots. There's the warm front that will drag through here this morning. On the bottom end of that, pretty juicy air, right? Very muggy, very hot. Could be talking about near record temperatures today, 88 for your high. That would tie a record for this date, and I think upper 80s for many locations will be common. Coming up, we'll talk more about the severe weather threat tonight. I think we have maybe a more elevated severe weather risk for Friday. We'll have the full timetable in my Storm Track 8 forecast in just a few minutes.
To get a peek at Marcus Bailey's full forecast, just head over to wishtv.com, or you can download the Wish TV Storm Track 8 app. And don't forget to check out our Storm Track 8 weather blogs. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 podcast for Thursday, May 15th. I'm Jeremy Jenkins for Wish TV and wishtv.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.